Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Big Donch Podcast, Ep.3 of our Sports World Weekly. Not the biggest news happened over this past week, of course. I guess that's just the downside of, doing a podcast on a Wednesday. But just want to mention, I put my podcast on Wednesday because I just think it's the best day, I guess, because it's the middle of the week. You know what I mean? You have stuff that's coming up this weekend, and you also cover stuff that happened the last weekend. And usually, I put it on a Wednesday mainly for NFL football, because NFL football you'll have Thursday night football, which would be normally tomorrow. Then you would have talking about the games from Sunday and Monday, and then you can also talk about the games on upcoming Sunday and Monday. So that's why I post my podcast on a Wednesday. I'm going to keep it like that for a while, and if I realize that I'm not getting the best news, posting on this day, I'll change it up a bit. But I guess I was a bit exaggerating when I said there wasn't enough news, because some big trades did happen over the past week. Matt Stafford to the Rams, Goff to the Lions, along with 2 first-round picks, and I'm pretty sure like a third-round pick. Can't remember what years these picks are for, but honestly, Lions got a steal. But then again, the Rams, they haven't drafted a first-rounder in forever. I don't think they ever had, not ever had a first-round pick, but they didn't have a first-round pick in a while, and they made it work. They obviously have winning seasons, just made the playoffs this season, made it to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. But I think a quarterback like Stafford could push the Rams to a Super Bowl win. For example, Rams versus Patriots, if they had a quarterback like Matt Stafford, they probably would have won. That's my opinion. But then once again, Goff did have a Pro Bowl season, I'm pretty sure, that year. Maybe it was the year before or after, I can't remember. But Goff's not bad, is what I'm saying. And neither is Matt Stafford, of course, but Matt Stafford's obviously the better quarterback. But that's why I'm saying the Lions won the trade, because Goff, who is an average quarterback but can be better with the amount of team he has around him, which with the Rams he had a great defense but not the most offensive weapons. Look at this past season with the Rams, had a rookie running back who wasn't too bad. Definitely went off later on in the season, but didn't have the best wide receivers besides, honestly, Cooper Kupp, and Woods isn't the best as he used to be. But hopefully him and Galladay in Detroit, and their tight end Hawkinson, I'm pretty sure the Lions tight end is, they could definitely do some damage, absolutely. But Lions definitely need to draft defense. Their defense isn't the best. They got to look for a young defense to play with. Rams, on the other hand, their defense is amazing, and all they need is 1 or 2 good offensive weapons, and they're back in Super Bowl contention. I mean, they did have a playoff win this year. They weren't better than the Packers to beat the Packers, but 1 or 2 offensive weapons, which they already have one with Matt Stafford, who is, like I mentioned before, better than Jared Goff. But you also have Cooper Kupp, like I mentioned, and their offensive line isn't terrible. Could be better. I'm sure Andrew Whitworth is going to be retiring within the next 1 or 2 years. Don't know what his status is yet. But, they got to make some moves. Both teams got to make some moves to prevent, both sides of the ball. But, the Lions' record predictions for this upcoming season, I'll probably have them going maybe 6-10. 6-10, honestly. But their future might look better. They honestly hired some pretty good coaches, on the offensive side and defensive side. I'm pretty sure they hired the head coach from the Chargers. Can't remember names. Not too good with names. I'm good with faces when it comes to coaches. But they hired him. And they also hired a pretty good defensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure. I would have to look up. Let's look up the Lions coaching staff. I could be wrong. I don't want to be saying. So Dan Campbell, I knew that. He's the new hire head coach. They didn't hire Adam Gase, did they? No. It popped up for recommendations, so I'm thinking, no way they hired Adam Gase. So Dan Campbell. All right, Anthony Lynn, okay, head coach of the Chargers, former head coach of the Chargers. Wasn't the best on the Chargers as head coach, but he is definitely great at offensive minds. And, honestly, what he just has to work on is time management. That was his problem on the Chargers. But if he works on that, he can honestly be a pretty good offensive coordinator, definitely, even though the head coaches are usually the one who make the decision when it comes to time management. But I think the coaches, they did pretty well this offseason with them. Even though the offseason not really happened yet because the Super Bowl is this week. But they also have Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator. Let's see where he's from. All right, he was a secondary coach for New Orleans. So obviously great success from the Saints past couple of years. But that's a trade that happened over the weekend. Basically covered all of that in my opinion. So just to sum that up, Stafford to the Rams for Goff and some pretty good, solid draft picks. But once again, I believe the Lions won that draft. That trade. We'll just have to see. Another thing that happened over the weekend was the Pro Bowl. I mean, I don't even know what happened. Like, I guess it was just Madden, but I don't even think not a lot of people played. I think it was like, I forgot who it was, honestly. I think Kyler Murray was one of them who played. Snoop Dogg, Marshawn Lynch. I guess it was like celebrities and players. I'm pretty sure Deshaun Watson played. I can't really remember. But I didn't watch it because I knew it was kind of be like a joke because, not only are they not playing the Pro Bowl, but it's Madden. And I'm not the biggest fan of Madden anymore because, I'm sure everybody's like that. They play Madden, but they absolutely just despise it because how broken it is, which I agree. I play it all the time, but it's broken. There's some times where I'm just like, how is this in the game? How is this possible? How is EA still making games like Madden? But yeah, I didn't tune in. Not a lot of people did tune in, it seemed like. But that was the Pro Bowl. I mentioned in my last podcast that, not as good as it used to be. In my opinion, they got to bring the Pro Bowl back to Hawaii. And, keep it before the Super Bowl. I know if you have it after the Super Bowl like they used to, maybe you get some more stars to play in it, but I like it before the Super Bowl. That's Sunday before. But bring it back to Hawaii, in my opinion. It was never the same. It's not the same, ever since they took it out of Hawaii. Some other news that happened in the NFL over the past couple of days is some Bill Belichick beef with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Danny Amendola getting in there for some odd reason, trying to say that, that team was, all those 6 Super Bowls were all on Brady, which in my opinion was not true. Anybody who really watched, the Patriots over the past 20 seasons, and I'm not trying to say I'm smarter than a NFL football player who experiences, but, come on. I was saying, without Bill Belichick, there's no 6 Super Bowls. Without Tom Brady, there's no 6 Super Bowls. Okay? Obviously, both of them contributed greatly, but without either one, there is no 6 Super Bowls. Okay? So, obviously, Brady, helped a lot. Bill Belichick helped a lot. But you take one of those out, there's no 6 Super Bowls. There might be 1 or 2 or 3, all right, but there's definitely not 6. And that's just my opinion. People keep forgetting that the Patriots' defense was good in their earlier Super Bowls. Their offense basically stepped up the past 3 Super Bowls that the Patriots had with Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, and then obviously Rob Gronkowski and that good offensive line. And of course, their defense was still good, but wasn't as good as their first 3 Super Bowls. And people forget that. The Bill Belichick slander has been actually crazy ever since Brady, though, left the Patriots. And mainly because they're saying that he was too serious. He didn't have them, didn't let them have fun. And people got to keep remembering that, or they can't forget that the NFL is a business, and playing for a football team in the NFL is a business. Like, yeah, it's fun, but you got to understand, like, the main goal for every NFL team, every NFL coach, and every NFL owner is win a Super Bowl. All right, that's the goal every year. Okay? And obviously they did a good job at that, winning 6 Super Bowls in, 20 years or something like that? And that's good. Okay, that is good. And obviously he succeeded. Bill Belichick succeeded. All right, and the fact that they're hating on him because he was too serious, if he wasn't the coach like he was, then those 6 Super Bowls would not have happened. You could look at that like in the NBA with Greg Popovich, serious coach, okay? But how many rings does he have? I'm pretty sure he has like 5 rings, okay? In a short amount, not in a short amount of time, obviously, but in his coaching career, 5 rings, serious coach. If he wasn't so serious, didn't take his job serious, those 5 rings might not have happened. Okay, Nick Saban. I don't even know how many national championships he has. It's over like 6 or something, close to 10. And he's a serious coach, okay? If he wasn't so serious, those would not have happened. Those national champions would not have happened. He wouldn't have brought in all those recruits. the main goal for any professional team is to just, I know Alabama's not professional, but it's basically professional. I mean, they have those guys to the NFL all those senior class, everybody leaves to go to the draft, is what I'm saying, on the Alabama team. So it's basically like a professional football team. And the goal is win a Super Bowl. And if you're not winning Super Bowls, then you're not doing your job right. And that's why coaches get released. Okay? That's what happens. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you're going to get released after a couple of years. You're going to get chances, of course. Coaches get chances. They might get one or two, depending on, obviously, how bad their coaching is. Like Adam Gase, obviously, was not the right fit for the Jets, having 2 bad losing seasons. But then you also have Mike Tomlin, for example. His first couple of years, he won a Super Bowl, then made it to the Super Bowl. But in the past, 10 years or 9 years, we don't have that many playoff wins. We haven't made it to the Super Bowl yet. And, that's when you got to start deciding, all right, is it time to cut Tomlin? All right, we gave him his chance now. He won us in the beginning, but now he's not doing good anymore. Mike McCarthy, another example, on the Packers, won a Super Bowl, but then after a while, couldn't really win much in the playoffs or make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, what was he, 1-3 in the NFC Championship? Could be wrong. You gotta cut him. All right, Jason Garrett. Gave him a lot of chances. Why did he give him a lot of chances? Because the Cowboys were that 8-8 range or making playoffs every year. But they weren't getting there. They weren't getting to where they need to be, like the championship or the Super Bowl. And that's why he was cut. He was fired. So, once again, you got to have a serious coach. Mike Tomlin's a serious coach. Okay, I'm a Steeler fan, obviously. He's a good example. I mean, he's not winning a Super Bowls, but he's having a winning season every year. Okay, honestly, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I know we're talking about the Patriots, but for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin's not really the main problem. It's the coaches around him that we need to figure out. And hopefully we figure it out this year with hiring a new offensive coordinator, firing Randy Fichtner. But our defensive coordinator is not too bad, Keith Butler. But we just got to fill the coaches around him. All right, we just did that. Okay, I say give Coach Tomlin another 2-3 years. All right, and if there's no success, okay, I think it's time to let him go. We got to give him the chances. Thing is, with Belichick, we could give Belichick a lot of chances. 6 Super Bowls, multiple playoff appearances. I don't know when the last time they missed the playoffs. And obviously besides this year, I don't know the last time they missed the playoffs. So we got to give Belichick chances. People got to realize I think Belichick is the best NFL coach of all time. And that's just that. So to sum that up, no Brady, no 6 Super Bowls, no Belichick, no 6 Super Bowls, no Patriots defense, no 6 Super Bowls. That's how it is. That's what I'll continue to believe. So let's move it over to the NBA. Cody Zeller, pretty sure his name is. Remember watching him in college basketball. I'm pretty sure he played for Indiana. Let's look that up quick. Cody Zeller. Pretty sure he played for Indiana. Yep, Indiana Hoosiers. I remember watching him, actually. Pretty great player in college, of course. He was picked 4th overall in the 2013 draft. I'm just honestly surprised that he's still on the Hornets. Okay, usually players like him who aren't producing that well usually get cut within 4 or 5 years. He's gone on to, I'm pretty sure this is year 8. All right, that's impressive. That's pretty impressive. But let's talk about what he did to Giannis, that insane posterizer. Honestly, insane watching something like that. Giannis gets dunked on pretty few times. I remember watching him. He gets embarrassed a bit. Yeah, Jaylen Brown dunked on him a couple times. Aaron Gordon dunked on him. For how good he is, Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time MVP, gets dunked on quite a bit. But yeah, I just wanted to share about that with Cody Zeller. Thought that was pretty awesome. We could talk about the Wizards too, getting a win the other day in overtime. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. Don't want to say that. Don't want to mess up. Got to look at this stuff before I even say it, right? We'll check out NBA. I'm pretty sure it was Monday. Could be wrong. The Wizards got a win. It was like a last-second win. Let's look for that. I just remember watching it, and Russell Westbrook went off. And it was after a losing streak that the Wizards had. And they beat the Nets. I knew it was a big game. It was not in overtime. I was wrong about that. I just knew it was a close game. 149 to 146. seems like it was overtime. Kevin Durant had 37 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Russell Westbrook finally trying to prove the haters wrong. 41 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Many people are saying Westbrook's in the decline. Hate to agree, but he is. Hopefully he's making a comeback, though. Hopefully he makes the All-Star game this year. Let's look at the box score of that game. Let's see. So, yeah, Kevin Durant had... How many did he have? Where's the points? All right, Durant had 37. Joe Harris with 30. DeAndre Jordan with 8. Kyrie Irving with 26. I don't even think Harden played that game, though. Could be wrong. Let's see. Exited me out of that. What game was that? I just lost. All right, yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah, so Harden didn't even play, I don't think. Unless he was injured. Doesn't even say. So I don't know. Unless I'm missing something. I guess he didn't play. But let's look at Westbrook. Had 41 points and Beal had 37. So why I wanted to bring up the Wizards was Bradley Beal wants, not saying he wants out, but he wants to win. And being on the Wizards isn't the best position for him to win, for him to make it to the playoffs, for him to win a playoff game, and for him to make it to the finals and win a finals game. And that's just not the Wizards that they're going to need, all right? He needs to be on a better team, or the Wizards got to start doing better in the offseason. They made a good picking up Russell Westbrook. Pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, that was big, but they need a center. Who is the center? Robin Lopez, yeah. No. Definitely not going to win championships. Not going to win playoff games either. Oh, I remember this dude. Yeah, Rui Hachimura. Yeah, 22-year-old out of Gonzaga. Heard of him last year. He could definitely be a stud in the next couple years. But it's mainly their center that they got to look for to, win some games. And their defense is just horrendous, too. They're not the best at defense. I mean, talk about that game. How many turnovers did... I don't think it's showing the turnovers. Yeah, let's look at team stats. All right, Nets had 17 turnovers. I guess I was wrong. Wizards only had 7. So I guess that defense really did hold up. Even though the Nets still dropped 146, though. But when you have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, it's hard to keep them low points. But that's the Wizards situation. They just got to find a better team if they got to keep a player like Beal. If they don't keep a player like Beal, then he's obviously going to leave, and the Wizards are going to be even in more trouble. I do miss watching the Wizards, though, with Beal and John Wall. John Wall is not doing too bad on the Hornets, though. The Rockets. I said the Hornets because I was thinking about Houston. Houston Rockets. But he's not doing too bad. Obviously not back to himself, but playing the right position. Making the Rockets, putting the Rockets in game. Let's see who the Rockets are playing. They're playing the Thunder with a 10-9 record the Rockets have. Let's look at what John Wall is averaging. Forgot the Rockets have Christian Wood now, too. I know he was going to be a stud. Yeah, John Wall is day-to-day, so he might not even play. And they have DeMarcus Cousins, too. So they're loaded at the 4 and the 5. Turn that down. As an ad, I guess. I just want to see how much John Wall is averaging. Alright, he's averaging 17 points a game this season. Against OKC, he's averaging 18. So, yeah. That is the Rockets. That's the NBA situation. What else is happening over the past couple of weeks? Not much news. And when there's not much news, I start to forget what I'm talking about. I try to have this little list I use on Google Docs. I'll put the intro. Obviously, I did the intro. Talk about some NFL. Talked about, obviously Stafford and the Goff trade. Talked about the Pro Bowl. Talked about the Patriots situation. Then I bring it into the NBA. Talked about the Hornets and obviously Cody Zeller dunking on Giannis. And then the Wizards situation with Beal. So that's basically just all the news that really happened. Big over the past week in our sports world. I guess if you want to consider this sports too, the Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight has been postponed. Kind of knew that was happening. I honestly don't even think that's going to happen, really. I think that was all for show. Doubt that honestly happens. Could be wrong, though. And obviously, if that does happen, Floyd in at least under 5 rounds. But we'll see. Will be entertaining. Am I going to watch it? Sure, of course I am. But, just think it's a joke. But, all about money. That's really all it is. I don't even think it's actually a real pro fight. I think it's just an exhibition, so it's not even really going to count towards anybody's record. But that is our Sports World Weekly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This podcast was a bit choppy. I know that. Hard to talk about stuff when there's not a lot of news happening. Oh, also though, I want to bring up NCAA football is coming back. Completely forgot about that. That's my childhood. I'm sure anybody who grew up playing that game is really excited about this. But I think it's only coming out next gen. And I only have the PS4. Probably not going to be getting the PS5 for another year. Not because of stock, out of stock issues, mainly because I don't feel like spending $500 on something I'm not really going to play much. But NCAA 14, well, NCAA football. I keep calling it NCAA 14 because that's the last game. But NCAA football, definitely be playing that a lot. Definitely excited for that. But I'll just have to see where I'm at to buy that PS5. But I'm not worried about the PS5 now until the actual NCAA football comes out. Probably won't be till a while though, because they just announced that it's coming back, but they probably didn't even develop it yet. But who I think I should be on the cover? Who I think should be on the cover? Joe Burrow, in my opinion. I know he didn't play this college football season, obviously, because he was in the NFL, but he played one of the best college football seasons in a while, if not of all time. Obviously, a Heisman winner, national championship winner. Definitely think he should just be on it. Or I would be okay with them just putting all the Heisman Trophy winners on since the last NCAA 14. Wouldn't be too bad of an idea. But, yeah, that is the Big Donch Podcast, Episode 3 of our Sports World Weekly. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, if you're on YouTube watching this, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. And if you're on Spotify or Anchor watching this, make sure to, of course, subscribe to me as well or follow me. I'm out. Peace.